All right, welcome back. The Steelers' offensive line is still a work in progress. A couple of these guys have been injured, so they haven't been in practice a lot to start training camp. And one guy, Mike Tomlin, is lighting a fire under is Kevin Dotson. You were at practice today, Mark, and what did you make of what Tomlin had to say about Dotson running with the second team now?
Well, he wanted to get a message across because Mike Tomlin is a crafty veteran when it comes to he's not going to get his words twisted in way or anyhow by anybody. So for him to go out there and say that put him on the second team, there's something that's bothering him. I don't know if it's him, how slowly he's coming back from injury or whatever it is. Remember, Ryan Shazier about 7 years ago, was thrown with the ones right away. Then all of a sudden he gets hurt. He can't get back on the field, and Pony's buddy Keith Butler comes out and basically calls him a wimp because he can't get back onto the field. So maybe this is that case. Maybe he's not fighting through that injury enough. Tomlin needs to see more of a commitment for him to get out there. I don't think there's anything much more than that than trying to send a message publicly.
Yeah, this is a classic Mike Tomlin motivational tactic. Kevin Dotson's missed a bunch of time early to start camp. Whether he believes he's milked the injury at all or not, and I'm not saying he does, but regardless of whether that's the case or not, Mike Tomlin's going to make this guy prove that he deserves to be back up there with the ones. Oh, you think you had a great few games last year when you stepped in for DeCastro, and that's it? You're just the starter, carte blanche, no questions asked? No. You're going to have to come back in here, kick some tails, shove some people around, smack some people in the mouth, and prove that you deserve to start at guard again.
But then again, Kendrick Green got that one spot pretty much handed to him, and as soon as Zach Banner was good enough to practice, he went right in at right tackle. So I think there's some mixed messaging going on here. This is honestly one of the biggest reasons why I expect the Steelers to have their worst season under Mike Tomlin, because this offensive line is in tatters. We've got to do motivational ploys like this a month before the season starts with the guy who I believe right now is their best offensive lineman. And by the way, he's a fourth-round pick a year ago who only started 4 games in 2020. So it all starts with the offensive line. Mark knows that. This is easily the worst offensive line in the entire AFC, and I think this is further proof that Dotson even right now is someone you can't exactly count on.
Hey, let's remember, a good running back can make a bad offensive line look good, and I think that potentially can happen this year. We're going to talk about the Hall of Fame, Troy Polamalu's speech, and who is the next Steeler to get into the Hall. That's coming up next. Stay right there.